Welcome to the studio, Mike Posner, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay.
I'm excited to have you here today. Thank you for coming through. It's my first time to meet you. Sarah, have you met him before?
I've seen him around before, but I've never met him.
What do you mean you've seen him around? Was he in your neighborhood selling ice cream? Like, hey, Mike Posner.
I've run into him once or twice.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thanks
it's
for
a real
coming
honor to be here. Yeah.
So let's get some business out of the way. Was it the 17th you released your latest single, Top of the World?
Yes.
Video comes out.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bore everybody by saying this, but I'm a humongous Detroit Red Wings fan.
Really?
Like, you don't even know.
Wow.
And when I saw that you had Datsuk in your, is it Datsuk?
Yeah.
Oh,
Pavo.
God, I was like,
They call him Pasha.
yeah. That dude's insane, and he's got like a Frankenstein face. I'm like, I know that guy.
Yeah.
Immediately, I thought, I love Mike Posner.
Thank you.
How'd you make that happen? I see several sports stars, and like, tell the story about the video, because I really want to. That's really what it's about, telling everybody about this video, because it really is a love letter to Detroit and Michigan in general.
Yeah, so I grew up in Michigan, and I live in LA now. So at the beginning of the video, I say, I only left to show you it's possible. Because, when it comes down to it, I don't really feel like more special than the kids that are in my high school right now, or the kids that are in my elementary school right now. I just sort of feel like a normal dude from Michigan that's blessed and living his dreams. So I say, if I could be living my dreams, maybe you can be too. So in the video, I fly back from LA, and we got to shoot in LAX in the airport. You see me getting patted down and stuff, and I landed.
Was that real when they did that? Or
yeah,
they
didn't know. They didn't know we were
really?
filming. Yeah, we just had a small camera.
Okay.
And then we flew back to Detroit, and my buddy Big Sean picks me up, and then I go back to all these important places to me, like Ford Field, Joe Louis Arena, the Palace, my high school, my elementary school, my parents' house. My parents are in the video, my sister. So it was the most fun we ever had making a video, for sure.
I want to get to the beginning of the video, because I feel like it's a time now where we're all a little bit more about being real. And, all the videos from before, all those hip-hop videos with all of the bling and everything like that, I think we've moved beyond that, because everyone's going through tough times and can't relate. So the people that cut through and tell the truth and say your life doesn't have to be perfect, you don't have to be a big deal, you just have to try, or at least try and reach your dreams.
Yeah.
I connect with that. And that video,
Thanks.
we're going to play in a second the intro to that video, because I think it's very interesting. But I want to ask you something. You just said something interesting to me. You said you don't feel like a big deal, but you clearly are someone who's, I would say the word famous. I mean, I would say you asked 10 people, I'd say 8 out of 10 people go, oh yeah, Mike Posner, I know that guy.
Yeah.
So how come you don't feel that way? And I know humility is a great thing.
Yeah.
But how can you be in LA with the recording career you have, and knowing how badly people would love to have that? How do you manifest you don't feel any different?
Sure, I suppose that's like a balance we all strive for between gratitude and motivation, right? Figuring out how to be grateful for what we have so far, and I certainly have a lot, but at the same time be inspired to work for more. So I guess it's not that, maybe I could phrase it a different way. It's not that I don't feel special, because I do feel like I'm a talented artist and I have something to say, and I've been blessed with a voice and some fingers that can play the piano pretty well. But I just feel like other people are really special too, and maybe a lot of times they're told that they're not, and they're told to settle for lives of mediocrity, when I know I was told that, but I didn't listen.
Who told you that?
Oh, everyone.
Really?
When I said I wanted to sing and get a record deal, even people that love me, teachers, friends, family, people thought I was crazy.
Wow.
Was it because you had a soft voice and they're like, dude, you can't sing, what are you doing?
Well, I didn't start singing until I was 20. So my mom thought it was nuts. She was like, you want to be a singer? What?
What were you doing before that?
I was rapping. Yeah.
Everybody's rapping now, right?
Yeah.
So to find someone that says they're a rapper, you can go to 7-Eleven, you'll find a rapper somewhere inside.
Yeah.
And so you're rapping. Were you getting any traction or any attention with the rapping?
Not really, but I had one buddy, Big Sean, who signed a record deal with Kanye West. And so I used to make beats for him too at the time I was producing as well. So he was like my only connection, really. And I tell people all the time, I probably wouldn't be in this chair if it wasn't for him. When I first made my first CD singing, he gave me 3 verses on it, and that was like the only reason anyone listened at first, and then it kind of spread from there.
Now, you say I've got a friend, Big Sean, to us. We'd be like, oh my God, Big Sean, and you're making beats for him. How do you go from, hey, I got a laptop, to, hey, I'm making beats? Is there a lot of Because here's what I'm hearing from you.
Yeah.
You're having the life that I think so many people that are listening right now will take lessons from and go, wait a minute, how did this come about? Because maybe there's something in this story that applies to me, and maybe I can make it. Maybe there's a lesson here.
Well, I think the lesson that applies, the one that certainly I've seen in my life is that, and maybe you can attest to this, you too, Sarah, is that before you get anything that you want, you have to believe that you can do it. And that belief really sets things in motion. So for me, I remember having a conversation with Sean when I was finishing high school in my mom's basement. And I said, you know, Sean, if I could just get a house just like this and make a living doing music, I'd be okay. And he taught me something that day. He looked at me like I was crazy, and he goes, not me. He goes, I want it all. And I never believed that it could really happen to me until a buddy of mine, Sean, got a record deal, right? Kanye West signed him.
Yeah.
So suddenly this thing that seemed so far-fetched to me seemed a little more attainable. And I started to believe that I could do it. And I started making my music, and I never really thought it wasn't going to work. And after that belief changed inside of me, it started to change outside of me as well. So that's sort of my goal now, is to be everyone else's Big Sean.
Oh, that's cool.
We talked to Dev yesterday, was here at the station.
Oh,
and
tight.
she said the same thing. I asked her, I said, were you always successful inside before you even became successful outside? She goes, absolutely. She worked at Old Navy. She goes, when I was at Old Navy filling boxes, she goes, I felt like I should be on a stage in front of thousands of people. I knew that I was capable.
Yeah, and I was someone who didn't feel like that, but changed that thought inside of me. So I don't think it's something you're either born with or not. That belief is something that you can learn. I read in a book that beliefs are just thoughts that you think a lot. So a thought you repeat in your mind many times can turn into a belief. So I was someone that changed that belief inside of me, and then pretty soon I started to see things outside of me change as well.
It's probably a good time to play the beginning of your video.
Okay.
Play this. First, we're gonna get to the song.
Cool.
But first, I want to play the entrance to this video. Is interesting. It's Top of the World, and this is what you get at the beginning. Listen to this.
When smiles don't result from good things, they result in good things. I found that in my notebook the other day. I don't even remember writing it, but I think it's true. I only leave to show you it's possible. To turn ideas from a notebook into real life. To show you that if this normal kid from Michigan can be living his dreams, then maybe you can too. And that's why it's important that we always return home.
So the song begins. Talk about that message for a second. I mean, we've kind of elaborated on it a little bit, but so inside you, you're thinking, okay, I believe this can happen. I've seen Big Sean make it happen.
Yeah.
What happens next to you? It's the hard work, I guess. It's the grind, right?
Yeah, and there were certainly peaks and valleys along the way. Not long after that, I went to school at Duke University, so I moved to North Carolina, and Sean stayed in Detroit, and I was still sending him beats. I would make beats every day. I sent him like 100 every year, and he would use like 2. So I was like, man, I gotta. And he wasn't really blowing up. He always supported my music, but you know, he was just starting out as well. So I started going to New York to try to sell more beats and.
Were you making a living at that?
No, I was in college at the time.
Does it pay at all?
Yeah, if you start selling them. But
Yeah.
I wasn't. I was just getting these meetings and basically getting rejected. So all these people said no.
How did you feel when they rejected you? Like, what's going on inside you? Like, maybe I don't believe this, or did you always go, they just don't get it?
I thought they just don't get it, and then so I had this wild idea to. I don't know if it's a wild idea. I don't know why I had this idea to start singing my raps instead of rapping them on my beats. So I was like, no one else is gonna use them. So I made a CD in my dorm room and I put it out on the internet, and it just started to spread. And now I'm here.
That's when I became aware of you. I don't know about you, Sarah, but I'll tell you sincerely, I'm shocked to find out that you're so soft spoken, because when I think of your songs, I don't hear the same guy. And so where does the other guy step up to the light and go,
Oh man,
cooler than me, boom.
yeah, my mom says that too. My sister, when I'm on stage, they're like, "Who is that guy?"
Yeah.
So definitely, I get excited a lot too. Sometimes go into crazy modes too.
I've heard that. Like sometimes when you get into your zone on the stage or whatever, you just get in that zone and like that second personality just comes out.
Yeah.
It just takes over.
It's like Super Saiyan pose.
Have you ever, in that craze, try to move that you're like, uh-oh, you should have gone for that one? Like, who's the guy at the Grammys that, like, clocked that girl in the head? Remember that guy that jumped and took that girl's head out? I
What?
can't remember. There was a singer that decided he was going to jump from one part of the stage to the other. Do you guys remember?
Oh no.
There's a guy, and he landed right on the girl's head, like, live, right on their award show. You're like, oh, you shouldn't have gone for the jump, man.
Oh,
You
no.
just
feeling it.
You was feeling it.
Yeah.
I used to this thing where I would like climb on a lot of speakers, and then jump off of them.
Okay.
And I'm sort of like, sometimes I get up there and I'm like, man, this is a bit higher than I thought it was.
There's you're climbing back down.
Yeah.
You're like, never mind, we're good.
Yeah,
We're good.
and I would
It's a
jump
lot.
off and like, oh, my calf muscles.
You're trying to shake it off and act
Yeah.
natural. I'm good,
Yeah,
I'm good.
like add it into the moves.
Like, I meant to do that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Well, let's play a little bit of your song. The video and the song come out in December, and you're getting ready for Pages to come out. We'll talk about that in a second. You
Awesome.
got a birthday coming in a couple weeks here.
Yeah, I
We'll
forgot
talk
about
how you're
that.
gonna- well, don't forget about that. You got to celebrate life. This is Mike Posner. This is Top of the World.
At this time next year, I'ma have enough to buy the whole damn thing. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good right now, but I said just wait. I'ma take it to the top.
Top of the World. You've got to go to YouTube and check it out. The video really is like a love letter to your hometown. It really is.
Thank you, man.
Detroit's having a tough time.
And good times too.
Is it? Tell us about the good part of Detroit, because all we ever hear is, oh, it's dying, the city's going away.
And it's
Well,
freezing right now.
Yeah.
There's guys like Big Sean that came out of Detroit that are just some of like the most inspiring people. You know, that goes back and is at children's hospitals and all sorts of youth centers, and just a really inspiring people. He goes in one of his songs, he said, I'm like Detroit's angel, I even got red wings.
Oh. What's up, Red Wings?
So it's a lot of good things. And the downtown is like really starting to develop. Dan Gilbert from Quicken Loans is doing a lot
Oh, that's
downtown.
right. Quicken has
Yeah.
that big building down there, right? They're revitalizing a bunch.
Well, they have a big building, but also he personally has bought a ton of buildings downtown. Basically, he owns like a lot of Woodward Avenue, and so he's investing a ton in the city and really believes that it's going to turn around. Yeah.
Okay, you say you want it all. I mean, you must share that belief with Big Sean. What is want it all? What is that for you? How does it manifest itself for you?
Well, certainly that changes over time.
Yeah.
I remember thinking when you get a record deal, you made it. And then I got a record deal, and suddenly these new goals popped up, right? To have a hit record, and I got that, and these new goals popped up. So there's definitely new goals that I have, like I keep in my wallet, in my notebook, all the time.
Do
you know?
Do you have a goal that's secret that you don't share with anyone?
Oh
I'm not
yeah,
asking what it
all
is.
of them are secret.
Are they?
Yeah.
Why do you keep them secret?
Well, I think I was on Diddy's Instagram the other day, and it was something on it that said, don't share your goals with other people, show them. Yeah. So it's kind of like I don't know. People will try to sometimes talk you out of your goals, so it's better to keep them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
But my team knows my goals and stuff. They know. So
I guess they'd have to know. Huh?
Yeah.
Why are we doing this?
it's kind of like if you say your goals, you kind of sound like Rasheed Wallace. Like, I guarantee victory in Game 4.
Yeah. You're always going to come across a hater or two.
Exactly.
I want to
don't
ask you
need
this:
that.
your first flight on a private jet. I'm always curious about this. The first time you get to fly on a private jet. When was yours? Do you remember it? And what was it like? Who were you with?
Well, my first flight on I don't fly private usually.
Right. Me either.
Play my song a couple more times.
Okay.
Um,
We'll have to fix that.
My first flight private, I didn't pay for. I was with a family member of mine. Took me on one, and it is awesome. Yeah. I was like, I could get used to this.
Now, wait a minute. Your family member paid for it?
Yeah.
So it wasn't a record thing? I'm thinking it would be
No.
like Diddy or even Big Sean going, hey, we got the private jet. We're going to Vegas.
Yeah.
And then one time I have gotten one private jet that I chartered once.
You did.
Because I had a gig. I was in Vegas, and the next day I had to shoot a video in LA.
Okay.
But I was offered a gig late that night in Vegas, and basically the money for the gig was more than the money for the jet, so I did it.
Did you get on and like eat all the snacks? And, like,
No, we were so tired. we had a video at like 6 a.m. We just fell asleep.
It'd be like an airborne honor bar for me. I'd be like tucking all the stuff in my bag. Like, take this stuff, man. We pay for it. Take it. Grab the
Exactly.
bananas. Grab tiny booze.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. There's a certain kind of peace about you, and I've enjoyed every minute of my time with you.
You too, man. Thank you.
I really do. Let's talk about the album pages. When do we finally get it?
So the album page is probably early summer.
Is it done?
It's done, but I want to put out maybe 1 or 2 more singles and videos. But the cool thing about this this album is I decided to do it 2 years ago. And I was at a crazy place in my life, really kind of figuring out what I was supposed to be doing. And I heard this quote from the Dalai Lama, and he said, figure out where your talent fits in to make the world a better place. Figure out where your talent fits in to make the world a better place. So I was trying to figure out my answer to that. And I was on an airplane, and they served a veggie sandwich on the plane.
Delicious.
And I took a bite of the sandwich, and I knew this this idea came over me, and I had the idea. I wrote down in my notebook that I was gonna make an album, and for every album I sell, serve a meal to a child in need, 1 for 1. And so I was like, I cried and I wrote it down, and
It hit you like that.
Oh my god.
yeah, it hit me crazy.
That's
You know,
the best feeling, isn't it,
'cause-
when you're overwhelmed by a positive emotion?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
wild. You know, and I have ideas a lot for songs almost every day, but this was different, more powerful. And so I ended up sitting down at the food bank for New York City and told them my idea, and they were really excited. And so I partnered with them, and then I had to go make the album itself. But making the album with that behind it was so much more fulfilling and rewarding and grounding, I suppose. And so a lot of people I've written songs and produced songs for return the favor.
Explain how it works, though. If someone buys it, then there's a donation made.
Yeah, there's a donation made in the amount that a meal costs the food bank for New York City to serve. So,
It's amazing. Finally, airplane food has done something positive in the world.
Exactly.
One time.
Exactly.
Oh, well,
so
we're looking
cool,
forward to
Mike.
Pages. Can you give us any secret? I know you collaborated with some pretty cool people. That's the rumor I'm hearing, but I don't know who. Can you say who?
Cool. Yeah, like I said, you know, a lot of these people I've produced and written for on their stuff, and they were very gracious and helped me out. So Sean's on the album, 2 Chainz is on the
Oh,
album,
yeah.
Justin Bieber's on the album.
Wait.
wait.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You
sure.
are just so cool and chill, and you want to take your talent and make the world a better place. Now, when you met Justin, because you wrote
We worked on-
Boyfriend.
Yeah, we
and
worked on it
produced right?
together. Yeah.
Now that you know you wrote it, can't you tell he wrote it? Because it's kind of like, if I was your boyfriend.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Was the Justin that you met and got to know the crazy little punk he is being right now?
No, he's not a punk. He's a friend of mine, and I love him.
What's happening? Is he testing his boundaries?
I don't
A
know.
little
He's
cray-cray.
I don't think he's as crazy as he's made out to seem at all. And I can tell you that as a friend of mine, he's one of the most loyal guys. Like, he really just would do anything for me. So you know, I've been with him at times where like I see stuff in the media and I'm like, I was there, and that's not true.
Really?
Only a lie.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Can you
All
tell
the
us one
time.
time
What?
you remember in particular, or because we even heard a story today where he's out throwing eggs at his neighbor? Like, oh, that's
Yeah.
kind of weird.
Like we were in London and there was like something with his like birthday party or something, and there was like paparazzi that were like really like overstepping their boundaries, and they made it seem like it was like his fault and stuff.
Was that when he tried to like attack them and had his bodyguards pull him back in
It
his
was like
car?
a week before that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that too, like that guy was, you know, like
They provoke.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
really saying some nasty things, and that
Yeah.
part's always cut out. You know, it always just is him like. "Ah!"
Your mom's
But-
a stupid jerk, and I love your dog. And
Yeah,
right, I love
yeah.
your dog. Oh yeah. Like, what?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly,
Hey,
but he's a really good guy, man, to me, and he's really happy. You know, they make it seem like he's crazy, but he's a happy man. He loves his life. You know. Yeah.
Interesting. I have to
Hey,
say.
thanks for spending time with us.
Thank you for having me. It's
Yes.
really, I really enjoyed this.
Good, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
It's fun being in here. The album is called Pages. The song is Top of the World, and we want you to go to YouTube and watch it immediately. Can you can get it at iTunes as well? Is that true?
Yes, that is
Okay.
true.
That's even better. Go to iTunes and get it.
Yeah.
All right, we love it. Mike Posner, thank you so much.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for
Yeah,
coming by. I
thank
appreciate it.
you.
This is awesome.